Lots of bonus content. Thanks for your support. Hey, President-elect Joe Biden's on the line. Hello?
And furthermore,
Hello?
hey, this Joe Biden returning your nice message. And yes, Joe Biden is concerned about his extended car warranty. Do I give you my Social Security number now or 2 minutes from now? Please call me back at my secret number, Magnolia 757.
Joe, you called the wrong person.
Oh, get off it, man. There's no wrong person. We're all in this together. Just folks looking for a better break. I grew up in the land of cow farms and brutal country justice. And I promise to fight for the breaks that unites us all in a bigger breaks. We're moving on up, man. To the east side.
Yeah.
Remember that song?
Yes.
I fucking don't. What matters is this.
What? What matters?
I'm not going to go there, Jack. Why for? Because Biden-Harris is going to pay off $10,000 of your student loan. I know what you're thinking, but 10 grand doesn't even pay off a fraction of what I owe in interest.
Then what's the point?
The point is this, man. Dare to dream. So look, here's the thing. I have no plans to step down. Secondly, 5-point beta. I know times are tough. The challenges are daunting. But I know we can do this.
Okay, but do what, Joe?
It. We've done it before, and we will do it again.
That's great, but what specifically are you talking about?
I'm talking about this is the America, man. We're the United States of Americans. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of New Jersey. Like my dad used to say, son, I understand you're dying from poverty and lack of health care, but don't expect me to solve it.
But we're the richest nation in the world, Joe.
My dad used to say to me, Joey, stir prune juice with marmalade for 5 minutes. You'll thank me later. And I did. Simple as that.
But what does that mean for the average person, Joe?
Let me tell you something my dad used to say. Joey,
Jeez.
you got to sing to that groundhog if you want him to give back your lunch money. Now go fetch my anti-gravity machine because we're going to have lunch on Pluto. And we did. Simple as that.
What's your plan to help 12 million Americans who owe $5,800 in back rent, Joe?
Look, first of all, this malarkey that they owe $5,800 in back rent is malarkey. Because it's mostly interest. And like my dad used to say, get that muffin out of your nose, son. And I did. Simple as that. We're all Americans, man. Like my dad used to say, son, we always live in a town where you can find a dead whale in the river. And he was right.
Can you tell people why you picked Raytheon board member Lloyd Austin for Secretary of War?
Oh, come on, man. It's not called the Secretariat of War anymore. So stop it. You nubs thought I was going to pick Flarney, didn't you? Well, I didn't. I chose someone equally as fucked up. Freak out.
He's only been retired from the military for 4 years. Isn't his nomination a violation of the National Security Act of 1947?
Oh, come on, man. If you don't like Austin, then you ain't black. You know, it's like my dad used to say, son, you and I are going to blow up Wilford Brimley's donut tower. And you know what?
He was right?
Damn straight. Yeah, I'll see you later, fat. This curry went right through me. Oof. Keep the faith with the thing.
Got some climate change news. Turns out, guess what? I knew you knew the rich were contributing to climate change way more than their numbers, disproportionately. But wait till you find out how much more disproportionately they're contributing to climate change. Wait till you find this out. So this is from the BBC News. Climate change, global elite will need to slash high carbon lifestyles. How dare you tread on my right to take a private helicopter to the grocery store? I got to go get some groceries. And I live in the Hamptons. What am I supposed to do? Drive in a car? Like a commoner? Like a poor? The study compiled by the UN Environment Program underlines the chasm between the level of emissions consistent with keeping temperatures down and what's happening in the real world. Get this, here it is. Here's the big part of the story. The global top 10% of income earners use around 45% of all the energy consumed for land transport and around 75% of all the energy for aviation, compared with just 10% and 5%, respectively, for the poorest 50% of households, the report says. Hey, rich people are wrecking the environment. Who would have guessed it, huh? Who would have guessed it? You know what the best part is? They're the ones who can afford the electric cars the easiest. That's the irony. That's the irony there, Brownie. The study finds that the global COVID-19 shutdown will have little long-term impact on the climate. Hey, there's another silver lining gone. If the world wants to keep on track to restrict the rise in temperatures this century to 1.5 degrees Celsius, then these high carbon footprints will need to be significantly curbed to around 2.5 tons of CO2 per capita by 2030. For the richest 1%, it would mean a dramatic reduction. The wealthy bear the greatest responsibility in this area, UNEP Executive Director Inger Anderson wrote in a foreword to the report. The wealthy bear the greatest responsibility in this area. Unfortunately, they also give the littlest shit. They do bear the most responsibility while at the simultaneously carrying the least. The UNEP report shows that the overconsumption of wealthy minority is fueling the climate crisis. Yet it is poor communities and young people who are paying the price, said the head of the climate policy at Oxfam. Because rich people are just going to go to space. If countries invest in climate action, this could reduce expected emissions in 2030 by around 25%, enough to give the world a 66% chance of holding temperatures below 2 degrees Celsius. Can I just say there are way too many ifs in that paragraph? We got to knock back a few of these ifs, folks. If countries invest in climate change, if. It predicts that while carbon production will have tumbled by around 7% this year because of the pandemic, this would only reduce warming by about 0.01 Celsius by 2050. Wow. So in other words, we can't just go back to normal, and we can't afford for nothing to fundamentally change. But guess what we're going to do? Both those things. Failed planet. We're a failed planet. How billionaires saw their net worth increase by $500 billion during the pandemic. That's from October 30th. $40 million Americans filed for unemployment during the pandemic. 40 million Americans. But billionaires saw their net worth increase by $500 billion. This isn't the first time billionaires have seen gains while others dealt with loss, and it tends to tie back to two things. First, the government disproportionately gives more aid to larger companies. Then, when the stock market bounces back, the unequal bailout means that the wealthy still have money on hand to invest and thus profit, while the middle and lower classes do not. Wealth-friendly tax laws and loopholes then keep those billionaires at the top. Knowing all of this, some are advocating for policies to help level the playing field and create change. So there you go. Now you know how the wealthy disproportionately contribute to climate change, just in case you didn't have enough bad news. So So Joe Biden has some more appointees to his cabinet. Joe Biden has some more appointees to his cabinet. I bet they're real winners.
I thought they
Could they be
swamp.
the dregs of society? Could they be directly from the swamp? Could they be? Well, let's see. Biden plans to tap Lloyd Austin, former Iraq commander, as defense secretary. The retired 4-star Army general would make history as the first African-American to lead the Pentagon into illegal wars, murdering and slaughtering innocent people all around the world for corporate profit. That's great. Now we have a black guy doing it. What's that joke? There's that joke. You know, the Democrats would brag, if the Democrats were around in 1860, they would be bragging about their first transgendered slave owner. That's what this is. Look, we got a black guy. He's going to go kill everybody everywhere. He's going to do illegal wars. He's going to push imperialism. Isn't that fantastic? Suri, give me something that's wrong with American liberalism in one headline. There it is. Where did this guy work at, though? I mean, I see his 4 stars, so he's got to be a super duper decent human being. I'm sure he got all those medals for saving lives,
Right.
not terrorizing the fuck out of people. Let's see where he did work. Oh, my God. He got a job at Raytheon. They make money off of killing poor black and brown people. Isn't that weird? He used to work for them, and now he's going to go use all the... It's so great to see diversity among our warmongers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you ever don't want to approve a bloated Pentagon budget, you'll be called a racist. Isn't that nice? So if I go against the Pentagon budget, they can call me a racist now because they got a black guy doing it. See how neoliberalism works? That's just liberalism.
Mm-hmm.
That's just straight up liberalism. So he was the general in Iraq, and that went swimmingly. I've got high hopes for this guy. Let's see. Lloyd J. Austin III is a member of the Raytheon Technologies Board of Directors. He brings expertise in government, senior leadership, and international affairs. General Austin has been a member of the Raytheon Technologies Board. He is a retired 4-star U.S. Army general with nearly 41 years of military service, including 3 years as the head of U.S. Central Command. He also was the Combined Forces commander in Iraq and Syria, and he has the extensive operational experience having commanded troops in combat throughout his command. In other words, he has all the qualifications to be a warmongering psychopath. Just what we need. Today, he serves on the board of directors of Nucor Corporation, Tenet Healthcare Corporation, and Guest Services, Inc., and on the board of trustees of the Carnegie Corporation of New York and Auburn University. Because if there's one thing higher education needs more of, it's Raytheon. We're looking for the bomb makers of the future. So if you get good at killing people and terrorizing other countries in imperialistic illegal wars, look at how capitalism rewards you. Look how neoliberalism rewards you. Isn't that amazing? The guy's a professional killer. He's on a health board. That's the irony there, right? He's a professional murderer. And he's on a health company board, Tenet Healthcare Corporation. You kill him, and then we'll fix him up. Wow. He works for Raytheon. He works for the Army, right? The Pentagon. So Raytheon makes the bombs. He then goes, uses them, and then he works for Tenet, who fixes up the... It's amazing. It's quite a scam they've got going. Here's some more people from Biden's cabinet. You ready? More people from Biden's cabinet? Here's some more people from Biden's cabinet. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Break-in. Biden's Health and Human Services pick backed Medicare for All and pressed Obama to take action against pharmaceutical companies. Now he will be in position to grant states Medicare for All waivers and to take the action against Big Pharma that he said he supports. Now, I'm just going to, David Sirota, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say he's just reporting that. He doesn't believe any of that. Does he? Because that's bullshit. I've been in California. I cover